An evening with my boss that took an unexpected twist. You won't imagine what unfolded. We invite you to embrace the moment by liking the video, sharing your reflections in the comments, and subscribing to journey with us through our latest stories. That night unfolded in ways I could never have anticipated, transforming my perspective entirely. The journey of my career, the decisions I've made, and particularly the man who has been by my side for more than 10 years. Yet, there are moments that catch you off guard, revealing themselves like a beautifully orchestrated melody, each note resonating with something profound inside you. The evening began like any other, wrapped in a gentle familiarity. The company's annual gala had just concluded, and the city lights danced softly through the expansive glass windows of the rooftop venue. The laughter of my colleagues lingered in my mind as I stepped outside. Breathing in the cool night air, feeling a sense of relief in the quietude. The gentle pressure of my heels served as a subtle reminder of the long hours spent on my feet. Wearing a smile that masked the fatigue beneath. As I prepared to depart, I glanced back at him. James Carter, the man who had guided my journey for the past 12 years. With silver threading through his temples and a wardrobe that spoke of elegance, he moved through the world with a self-assured grace, embodying the essence of a man who had crafted his own legacy. At 61, he exuded a calm and steady presence, yet there was an unmistakable shift in his expression that evening, hinting at deeper emotions beneath the surface. Taking a moment to breathe, I responded, sharing a gentle smile. The atmosphere of that gathering was truly captivating. He moved closer, hands resting in his pockets, his familiar presence gently illuminated by the warm glow of the streetlights. It was a moment suspended in time. To be truthful, these gatherings don't quite resonate with me. A soft laugh escaped my lips. Amusing. You guide them gently each year. That's merely the way of the world, he murmured, tilting his head slightly in my direction. It felt as though you truly embraced the moment. I let my shoulders fall in a gentle surrender. I guess I've come to embrace the role I've been given. He released a soft chuckle. And for a fleeting moment, we lingered in a serene stillness. The city whispered its secrets around us. Yet in that fleeting moment, it was only the two of us, close together, free from the rigid confines of the office. Then arrived the words that took me by surprise. He confessed, a hint of longing in his voice, that he wasn't ready to leave just yet. Would you like to share a drink with me? In that moment, I found myself pausing, caught in a delicate balance of uncertainty. It was quite common for us to share conversations beyond the confines of work. Those late-night calls and strategy meetings that lingered into the night. Yet, this experience resonated in a way that was uniquely profound. His tone carried an unspoken depth, stirring a subtle flutter in my chest. I certainly do. At last, I spoke. What holds us back? We strolled down the street, leaving behind the dazzling glow of downtown's towers and embracing the serene charm of a quieter part of the city. He guided me to a cozy lounge, where the lighting was dim and the gentle notes of soft jazz filled the air. It was a sanctuary that exuded a sense of eternity, remaining untainted by the hurried pace of the world beyond. As we nestled into a cozy corner booth, he gently loosened his tie, a rare and intimate gesture that caught my attention. His gaze met mine, a deep connection that felt like a revelation, as if he was discovering me for the first time. You've been with the company for quite some time, he remarked, gently swirling the amber liquid in his glass. 12 years have passed. I gave a gentle nod. Have you ever pondered how life could have unfolded had you taken a different route? His question took me by surprise. Are you inquiring whether I feel remorse for the paths I've taken? He gently shook his head, a soft expression crossing his features. No regrets, simply a spark of intrigue. Have you ever contemplated the paths left unexplored? I released my breath gently. It seems that we all experience this at some moment in our lives. Yet, I have always held the conviction that each choice, each path we follow, guides us precisely to where we are destined to arrive. His smile deepened at that moment. That's a thoughtful perspective on life. We shared our thoughts, truly shared, for the first time in years. It's not centered on tasks. nor the pressure of timelines or performance metrics, but rather on the essence of existence. He shared with me the story of his formative years, the challenges faced while nurturing the company, and the heartfelt sacrifices that accompanied the journey. I revealed fragments of my soul, the aspirations that once ignited my spirit, the experiences that molded my essence. The passage of time became a gentle haze. One drink flowed into two, then three, each sip deepening the connection. And in that delicate space between memories and joy, the atmosphere around us transformed. He extended his hand across the table, his fingers lightly brushing the back of mine. Tentative and exploring, I remained close. In that fleeting instant, a breath was held, and the world seemed to pause, teetering on the edge of possibility. And then, softly, he confessed, "I've never shared this before, but I've always held a deep admiration for you, extending far beyond your accomplishments. Your essence brings a sense of calm, a soothing anchor amidst the whirlwind of life." My heart raced with a gentle thrill. I had received my share of compliments, yet this one stirred something deeper within me. It was something deeper. It was an experience that resonated profoundly, a connection that felt undeniably authentic. "You've always been my unwavering presence," he continued. Perhaps I lingered too long in the shadows, slowly uncovering the depth of its meaning. I took a breath, feeling the weight of the moment, uncertain of how to reply. He was more than just my superior. He was a man I had admired for years, a man whose thoughts I cherished more than I was willing to acknowledge. And yet, as I sat there, enveloped in the soft glow of the dimly lit lounge, my thoughts drifted far from work or the demands of professionalism. I found myself reflecting on the way his gaze lingered on me, as if he were discovering a woman he had never permitted himself to fully acknowledge before. "I suppose I should make my way home," I finally murmured, though my tone betrayed a hint of uncertainty. He gazed at me intently for a lingering moment, then gave a subtle nod. "Allow me to guide you on this journey." The streets embraced a softer hush, the city surrendering to the gentle cadence of the late night. As we arrived at my building, we paused at the entrance, savoring the moment. "Thank you for this evening," he murmured, "for being there to hear me." A soft smile graced my lips. "The sentiment is mutual. I could express the same to you." A moment of stillness, a gentle uncertainty, and then, before I could hesitate, I leaned in, just a little, just enough. In that moment, everything else faded away, leaving just the two of us, suspended in time, where only the present mattered. But before anything else could unfold, I drew back, my breath wavering. "Good night, James," I murmured softly, crossing the threshold before I could surrender to the moment entirely. As the door softly clicked shut, I leaned against it, my heart racing in a rhythmic dance. Because an unspoken change had woven itself into the fabric of our connection. And within my heart, I sensed that this was merely the start of something profound. The following morning, I found myself awake before the sun, my thoughts entwined with the lingering memories of the night before. The way James gazed at me, the gentle heat of his hand resting on mine, the silent emotions lingering in the air around us. For years, I viewed him solely as my superior, a figure of authority, respect, and an unapproachable distance. But now, I found myself unable to escape thoughts of him as James, the man who had revealed his true self, who had shared his feelings with a gentle openness, who had gazed at me in a way that sent a thrill through my veins. I gently shook my head, attempting to dispel the swirling thoughts as I poured my morning coffee, the rich aroma enveloping me. This was utterly absurd. Nothing had transpired. Nothing was meant to unfold. As I stepped into the office, an unusual, palpable tension enveloped me, as if the very atmosphere had shifted. I glimpsed him through the transparent barrier of his office. In the midst of his conversation, our eyes connected for a fleeting moment, a spark igniting in the silence between us, a moment of stillness, a moment of pause. Then he offered me a subtle smile, a fleeting gesture meant just for my eyes. A gentle tempest stirred within me, a whisper of longing beneath the surface. The day flowed by in a haze of meetings and emails, yet my thoughts wandered elsewhere. It only intensified the moment when James appeared more attentive than ever, lingering by my desk with an air of purpose, his gaze meeting mine for a heartbeat longer than expected. As the afternoon waned, a sense of restlessness stirred within me. I craved the gentle embrace of fresh air, a soothing balm to untangle the thoughts swirling in my mind. I stepped outside onto the small office terrace, breathing in the cool, invigorating autumn air. The city thrummed beneath, a melodic blend of distant honks and soft conversations. My mind was adrift in a sea of contemplation, so much so that the gentle creak of the door opening behind me went unnoticed. "It feels like you've been keeping your distance from me." James's voice flowed smoothly, yet it carried an intriguing intensity beneath the surface. I turned, letting out a soft, airy laugh. "Steering clear of your presence? That feels a touch over the top." He moved nearer, hands resting in his pockets, wearing that familiar, enigmatic look. Could it be? I let out a soft sigh, gently massaging my temples. James. The moments we shared last night linger in my mind. It was unlike anything before. He brought my desires to a beautiful conclusion. I understand. I gazed up at him, the man who had been my companion through countless days. And yet in this instant, he seemed like a stranger. Perhaps, for the very first time, I was truly perceiving him. "We can't do this," I murmured softly, the weight of the words lingering in the air, leaving a bittersweet ache in my heart. He gazed at me for what felt like an eternity, then let out a soft breath. "I can sense your thoughts. This carries a certain risk." "That it transforms everything. It truly alters everything," I replied with conviction. "James, you hold a position of authority over me. There exist guidelines, desires that linger in the air. I don't care about rules." He interrupted, his voice a soft murmur, yet unwavering. My gaze lingered on him. This was not the poised, deliberate man I had come to understand. This was another person entirely. Someone who, for a moment, was free from the weight of ambition, surrendering to the allure of the present. He had me on his mind. "You're making this more complicated than it needs to be," he said, his voice gentle and soothing. "Last night, we transcended the boundaries of our roles. We were simply two souls intertwined. And I believe, deep down, we both sensed a connection." I took a deep breath. "That doesn't imply it's justifiable." He tilted his head, his eyes exploring the depths of mine. "And yet, you haven't expressed that you don't share this feeling as well." I parted my lips, yet silence enveloped me. The truth lingered between us, palpable and unrefined. A sensation stirred within me. A sensation that had eluded me for quite some time. He moved in a little closer, his voice soft and intimate, barely rising above a whisper. "If you believe I'm mistaken, I'll let it go. Last night will fade into the shadows of my memory." I longed to speak the words, to distance myself, to imagine that everything could return to its former state. Yet, I chose not to, because I felt uncertain about my desires. The atmosphere surrounding us shimmered, a delicate connection drawing us nearer. My breath caught in my throat as he extended his hand, his fingertips softly grazing my wrist. A gentle inquiry, not a request. For the first time in years, my mind craved stillness. I remained close. James's fingertips lightly brushed against the inside of my wrist. Yet the sensation resonated throughout my entire being. My heart raced, the gentle caress of his hand igniting a soft tremor within me. For years, I had existed within the confines of expectations, those placed upon me. My career, and my age, I had crafted a world steeped in certainty and logic. As I stood there, James's gaze upon me was filled with a sense of wonder. And in that moment, I sensed the very walls around me begin to transform. He lingered, his gaze searching for any hint that my desire mirrored his own. And in that instant, I surrendered. I released a gentle sigh. "James, I find myself uncertain about the path ahead." He offered a gentle smile. "I feel the same way. Yet, that doesn't imply we should shy away from it." A gentle breeze whispered across the terrace, sending a delightful shiver down my spine. He sensed it right away, removing his suit jacket and gently placing it over my shoulders. His scent, a hint of spiced cologne, enveloped me with warmth and familiarity. "Come on," he said, gesturing gently toward the office door. "Shall we escape this place together?" My heart fluttered with uncertainty. "Are you referring to this moment? What holds us back?" His voice danced softly, yet beneath it lay a subtle strength, a quiet resolve that lingered in the air. I cast a lingering look back through the glass doors. The office was alive with a gentle buzz, as individuals flowed through the familiar rhythm of their daily rituals. If I stepped back inside, I could already envision the unfolding of the evening. I would collect my belongings, return home, prepare a meal, and find myself in solitude, lost in contemplation, as if everything remained the same. Yet, a shift had occurred. For the first time in ages, I felt a deep desire to embrace the moment and not let it slip away. "Very well," I replied, my voice more composed than I had anticipated. "Shall we embark on this journey together?" We found ourselves in a serene, softly illuminated restaurant just a few blocks away. The sort of place where the melodies lingered gently in the air and the waiters communicated in whispers. James ordered a bottle of wine, and as the first sip caressed my throat, a wave of warmth washed over me, inviting me to unwind. As I gently placed my glass on the table, I looked up and asked, "What is it that we are truly exploring in this moment?" He reclined slightly, his gaze lingering on me with that familiar, enigmatic look he often wore in the office. But tonight, an unspoken connection lingered in the air. Truly, he gently swirled his wine, observing how the rich crimson liquid danced in the light. "I longed for a place with you, a space where we could simply be ourselves, free from the need to mask our true feelings." I took a deep breath. Imagine. Our gazes intertwined. That final evening held a significance beyond words. The words settled softly between us, laden with unspoken weight. I parted my lips, yearning to find the perfect words to express my feelings. But for once, I craved to let go of caution. I longed to speak freely, without the weight of scrutiny on each word that danced on the edge of my tongue. I released a soft breath. It truly did. A fleeting expression danced across his features. Perhaps a sense of release, or something more profound. Our conversation lingered for hours after that. It's not about the daily grind or the weight of obligations, it's about the connection we share. I shared with him secrets that had lingered in the shadows of my heart for far too long. How I had devoted so much time to prioritizing my career. How I had persuaded myself that love, passion, and connection were meant for others. Those who are in the bloom of youth. Individuals who seemed to possess an endless expanse of time. James absorbed every word, fully present in the moment. As silence enveloped us, he extended his hand across the table, his fingers grazing mine in a gesture that was both tender and intentional. Leaving me momentarily breathless. "You're not the only one feeling this way," he said softly, and I trusted him completely. As we stepped out of the restaurant, the city had settled into a serene hush. The streets shimmered under the gentle amber glow of the streetlights, while the distant murmur of traffic wove through the quiet moments we shared. We strolled together, lingering in the moment, both hesitant to part ways just now. At the crosswalk, he paused and faced me, his gaze lingering with an unspoken connection. "I want to savor every moment," he said softly, "yet, I cannot ignore the significance of this moment." My heart raced. "James," he let out a soft laugh, a gentle shake of his head following. "I understand. It's intricate." I released a soft, airy laugh that barely scratches the surface. We lingered in that moment, the city bustling around us, yet it felt as if we were the sole inhabitants of our own universe. Then, in a moment of pure instinct, I drew nearer. James's breath caught, his gaze lingering on mine, and then, at last, I allowed myself to embrace my emotions. The kiss unfolded gently, a delicate exploration, reminiscent of the initial whispers of a melody we had yet to discover together. His hand gently cupped the side of my face, his touch tender and filled with a deep sense of care. As we gently separated, his forehead lingered softly against mine. This transforms everything, doesn't it? I murmured softly. It does. He whispered softly. Perhaps that isn't as unfortunate as it seems. I gently shut my eyes, allowing the warmth of the moment to envelop me. Perhaps, just perhaps, he held the truth within his words. I awoke the following morning, a tapestry of feelings intertwining within me. Anticipation, fluttering feelings, a sense of the unknown. The memory of last night softly echoed on my lips, wrapped in the warmth of James's touch, in the way he gazed at me as if I were a treasure worth the wait. Yet, as the gentle morning light poured through my bedroom window, the warmth of reality began to weave its way back into my thoughts. I remained in his employ. He remained my superior, and we had ventured into a realm that could never be reversed. The soft vibration of my phone stirred gently on the nightstand. James, good morning. I trust there are no lingering regrets. A gentle smile graced my lips as I responded with my words. Myself. None. You. His reply came swiftly, filled with a warmth that lingered in the air. James, not even one. May I have the pleasure of your company later? For a moment, I lingered in uncertainty. It wasn't due to a lack of desire. I did, though uncertainty lingered about what the future held for us. Is there a world for us beyond the confines of the office? Beyond the carefully traced boundaries we had adhered to for such a long time? I inhaled deeply. Myself, absolutely, but let's have a conversation first. That evening, we gathered in a serene park just beyond the city's hustle, sheltered from the clamor and the watchful gaze of our workplace. James was already there when I arrived, casually leaning against a bench, his hands tucked into his pockets. As I drew near, he lifted his gaze, and I noticed a tenderness in his expression that was unlike anything I had encountered before. Hey, he murmured. Hey, I whispered softly, settling beside him. For a moment, we simply lingered, captivated by the warm glow of the setting sun as it danced through the branches of the trees. Then I whispered softly. James, I long to understand what unfolds next in this journey. He released a breath, as though the question had been lingering in the air, waiting for its moment to be asked. I don't possess all the answers, he confessed softly. Yet, I am aware of what does not resonate with me. I wish for last night to remain a cherished memory between us, not something we sweep away into silence. I nodded gently, feeling the weight of the moment. Neither do I. He shifted his gaze in my direction. Then let's embrace the moment without the weight of rules or expectations. Let's embrace this journey together, in whatever form it may take. I took a deep breath. And what about work? He let out a gentle laugh. I will ensure this doesn't impact your journey. Your efforts deserve so much more than that. If a discussion about boundaries in the workplace becomes necessary, we will engage in it. Yet, I find myself reluctant to let go of what we share, simply due to practical matters. His words stirred a profound feeling within me. For an eternity, I have allowed my apprehension of the unfamiliar to hold me back from embracing risks. From experiencing emotions I convinced myself were beyond my reach. Yet here was James, standing close, ready to explore this journey together with me. I extended my hand towards his. All right, I replied, my voice calm and unwavering. Let's explore the possibilities together. His smile radiated a warmth that was impossible to ignore. As he drew me closer, our lips met in a gentle, lingering kiss beneath the soft glow of the setting sun. A realization washed over me. This was a night that transformed into something truly memorable. This marked the dawn of something beautiful.